And we're live.
Hello and welcome to another live demonstration. Today, as part of the Back to Basics series, I want to have a look at traditional oils and water-mixable oils. So, traditional oils, I've got a variety of different brands here. They come in a artist quality and a student quality. Now, the artist quality has more pigment, so it's often a much smoother, more covering power. But it doesn't mean that the student quality is inferior as such. You find a quality that you like to use. So always, with any paint, purchase the best quality you can afford. So artist quality, student quality, and they're traditional oils. So they have a base of linseed oil, and you need a medium to thin them and make them more, make them thinner, and you can use them thick and thin. So mediums, and definitely a solvent is needed for the traditional oils. There are other kinds of oils. That's an alkyd oil. Now, a lot of people get a little frustrated with oils because they do take quite a long time to dry. Depending on the brand and the colour, oil paints can be touch dry in a couple of days to a week, but totally dry, it takes up 6 months to a year. Totally dry to finish and varnish, 6 months to a year, to allow all the colours to have dried properly. So people get a little frustrated with this. There is the Griffin alkyd, which is called a fast drying oil, and that takes off a few months of your drying time. The beautiful thing about oils is you're able to blend and manipulate and keep going in and reworking areas because of the drying time. I want to talk to you about the differences between traditional oils and water mixable oils. Now, some people get a little confused with, I'll get to artist quality, water mixable oils. They tend to assume that they are water-based, which isn't the case. They're just like traditional oils, they're oil-based. What has happened, the oil has been formulated so it allows you to mix with water. Very much like a vinaigrette, when you can shake them and they mix together. It's been formulated now that you can use water as the medium for these. So let's have a quick look. So using a traditional oil paint, again, squeeze from the bottom. There you go. And that oil seepage is actually a good sign. What it does, it shows that this paint has settled, but if it does separate like that, it shows a good quality paint because it means it's got good quality pigments and it's just separated a little bit from its binder. It's easy enough, just mix and you'll create a good paint. So don't worry if that happens. It just means that your paints have settled. A lot of people hang them like that or stand them up like that. It means the oil will raise to the top or the bottom of the tube and the pigment will settle this way, so therefore you won't get that initial leakage of oil. So that's a traditional oil. Clean. You'll notice I'm using a palette knife. Well, it's a painting knife, sorry. I often use one, especially for mixing. So on your palette, always mix your colours with a painting knife or a palette knife because then you're not introducing a lot of pigment into the ferrule of your brush. So traditional oils versus an artist quality water mixable. And again, you'll see that the binder has separated a little bit from the pigment. Quality, it shows quality. So it looks very much the same as the traditional oil. Again, mix it into the binder. So they look very much the same and they work very much the same. The one difference you'll see is I'm just thinking I need another brush, but I'll use the knife. So here I have water and I have solvent. So let's try and use water with the traditional oils and let's see if I can get it. Now I'm going to have to use the brush. what happens when I add water to it. You can see there how the water is beading and separate. It's moving obviously because the paint's wet, but it is actually not, it's beading on the surface. They're not mixing. It's not designed to. So I just need to clean my brush in solvents because I've used the traditional oils. This is one of my favourite tools, this little tin. Don't know if Gary can get a shot from the top. This has solvent in it. It's sealed, so it's got a sealable lid, and it has a little pull-out sieve. What I do is I fill it up with a low odour solvent. To be honest, I don't keep emptying it. I don't keep cleaning it, because what happens is it's self-cleaning. Clean my brushes, the pigment drops to the bottom, so it's pretty clean for the next use. I do occasionally have to take the sieve out and just take the gunk out the bottom and start again. So a really nice little tool. So I've cleaned this brush, and now I'm just wetting it to add water, and you can see the difference. See how water on the water-mixable oils works with it. So personally, I like using the water-mixable oils. I like the fact that it's easy to clean, and you can use water as a medium. So both work very much the same, but you have the beauty of being able to use the oils, the water with this water-mixable oils. Now, let me just change, because I want to show you something else. I'm sure many of you have traditional oils stored at the back of your cupboard and, you know, don't know where to start or can't use solvents, you know, through health problems, or haven't got the mediums and solvents to use them with. So there's a couple of really great mediums which you can add to traditional oils, and it makes them water mixable. So you've got them in two forms. Put that back on there. I need to mix. This is a tear-off palette, which is really convenient and easy, especially when you're as messy as I am. I think Gary knows that when he put it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix 1 part, I'm sure it's 1 part medium. Just have a quick check. Yeah, it is. 1 part medium to 2 parts colour. So again, artist quality. So 1, 2. It's about right. It's you can see 1 blob, 2 blobs. And again, mixing with a painting knife or a palette knife. And if I mix this in, so you see the gel form still keeps that oil consistency, that thick viscosity. It's quite nice. It's nice and smooth and glossy. Probably haven't done enough pigment here to show you a huge amount, but there you go. What I'm showing you is what you can do with traditional oils if you don't like using solvents. So made it nice and smooth, and that was a traditional oil which you saw when I tried to apply water last time. It beaded, it didn't really move with it. So this time, let's see what happens when I add water. So now that oil we saw earlier is now able to be moved with water, and you can use water as its medium. So again, let's get some colour on here. So colour on my brush. I can now clean with water, clean off and clean my brush off. So a really useful tool. So that was the gel. It's also available in the liquid form. This is not so easy to keep in one area. So this will make it flow easier, and again, make it water mixable. So 1 part medium to 2 parts colour. I do it like this because it just then helps me remember the formula. Let me clean my painting knife. Again, mix it into the medium. So medium W, making your traditional oils water mixable. This time it should be a lot smoother and glossier, basically more free flowing. It's a much wetter medium. That's really nice. Sorry, I'm just looking at the lovely shine on that. Okay, so let's again add that too. And again, you can see how traditional oils now become water mixable. So get those oil paints from the back of your cupboard. There we go. And if you're really not keen on using solvents or mediums, just buy the medium W and you've solved a lot of your problems. So I hope you've picked up some tips from this little demonstration. With the Back to Basic films, we like to just bring you tips and show different methods of working and introduce you to things that you may not have thought about or known about, but actually it's what you've been looking for. So I hope you can join me again next week for some more live demonstrations.
Let us bring out the artist in you. If you'd like to learn how to paint or improve your painting, the SAA, Society for All Artists, is here to inform, encourage and inspire you every step of the way. When you become an SAA member, you get so many benefits, including the free bi-monthly newsletter Paint, packed with inspiring step-by-step projects, fascinating articles, and detailed information to get your creative juices flowing. Discounts on over 13,000 art products featured on the SAA website and in the Home Shop catalogue, with free order line and free delivery in the UK mainland. A devoted SAA team on hand to answer your questions and give you the confidence and motivation you need to start painting and develop at a pace that suits you. Plus, a free welcome pack filled with gifts and practical help to get you started, as well as the opportunity to make friends with like-minded people.
Best thing to be a member is the inspiration from the magazines, to be able to purchase things at a very reasonable price.
Yeah, you get the reduction on all the materials, the advice you get.
I can shop from home.
It's a community.
It seemed like a very friendly sort of organisation.
If somebody's thinking of joining, don't spend too long thinking. Just join. They'll love it.